And the white policewoman says she came in the wrong apartment and shot and killed him. And then she claimed self-defense. And all both of them was doing was eating ice cream while. And finally, Amir Locke, Karen's baby boy, Buddy's apple of his eye, was just Tony Ramanucci literally sleeping on the couch while black. Amir Locke, let that sink in, was just sleeping while black. And the police came and shot and killed him. So the call to action is to try to answer Karen and Buddy's question. What can we do to make sure our children don't become a hashtag? Well, we got to stand up, we got to speak up, and we got to fight for our children. And we got to fight like their life depend on it, because their life do depend on it. And Lyndon Andrew, like we said at the Capitol, Jeff, if Minneapolis Police Department would have banned no-knock warrants like they said, let's be clear, Amir would still be here. Let's be clear, Amir would still be here. I want us to say it so the Minneapolis mayor and city council can hear it. If you would have followed your ban on no-knock warrants like you said, let's be clear, Amir Locke will still be here. Amen? Without further ado, I want to bring you a man who has been here to Minneapolis and said the most profound words that has ever been said during a eulogy. When he came for George Perry Floyd, and he said, what black people are saying in America is get your knee off our neck. Then he came and he gave words to say that Dante Wright, just like Oscar Grant, why is it you always pull the gun instead of pulling the taser on us? We ain't heard about you accidentally pulling the gun on any white people when you thought you were pulling the taser. We just speaking truth to power. And now, like he answered the bell for Trayvon Martin almost 10 years ago, he's here to answer the bell for Amir Locke's family. Karen, Buddy, you about to hear from my mentor, my friend, my spiritual leader, my co-counselor, because he's one of the best lawyers without a law degree I know. And he gave counsel to presidents, to governors, to mayors, but most importantly, he gives counsel to our people when we need to have a union. See, the police got their union. Who we have is Reverend Al Sharpton and National Action Network. So y'all, let's give a great round of applause for America's civil rights leader, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Giving honor to God and to Bishop Howell for allowing us to come and celebrate the life of Amir Locke in this sanctuary. And a particular honor to the mother and father, to Karen and to Buddy. I didn't know they call you Buddy, but you're going to be Buddy to me from now on. And to the entire family and to all of you that have gathered here, let me say that we are blessed to have with us at this time in history one of the greatest fighters for freedom and fighters for the protection of our people in the Attorney General of Black America, Ben Crump. And Brother Marmanucci and all that work with him. It's Black History Month. And they tell us every February to stop and celebrate Black history. But the real question is, what is Black history? At the same time that we are talking about Black history, there's a concerted effort to erase the story of blacks in America. This fight about critical race theory that really does not exist in public schools, but it is a way of erasing the story of our people. If you understood the story, you'd understand why we're here today with Amir. Because Amir was not guilty of anything but being young and black in America. And the insidiousness of it is, while they would not release his body to the family on one side, on the other side they would dig in trying to find out what mess they could come up with on Amir to try and justify. They were not just trying to go through whatever examination of his body, they would have trying to find out anything. If he did something in elementary school, if they could dig up anybody that could get on TV and lie on this young man. Bible says in Deuteronomy 10 and 17, how God is a God of all, and that God is superior to all. But he made us all equal. The problem is that we are living in a nation that does not deal with us equally. The problem is, I think that the aunt said it right. Problem is not training. You want to know how to train police? Train them the same way they do in white neighborhoods. Y'all must have two different training books. Because y'all don't train them to run up in white folks' house and shoot first and ask questions later. Give us that training book. Give us the training book where when you see people in other neighborhoods holding hostages, you talk them out of that. Give us the training book when people go up in banks and hold tellers' heads, and you wait and get backup teams. That's the kind of training we want. That's not what you gave to Amir. To say, well, he had a gun, he had a licensed gun. He was driving DoorDash. He knows that, protect himself. So here he had a licensed weapon, Bishop. But it seemed to me, when I